Welcome to Ask GMBN Tech. This is the Q&A session. You ask the questions, we give the answers. Get your questions in the comments underneath. Use that hashtag Ask GMBN Tech, and we'll get cracking, basically. I'm joined here, and in fact, I'm in Sandy's workshop. This is Sandy Plenty, we're a Trailhead bicycle company in Shrewsbury, and we've got a bunch of bike shop related questions from you lovely lot. First up is from David Paven. How do you feel when someone brings a new part to install on a bike that they've just bought from the internet? It might be a part that you guys sell. That must happen quite a lot, actually.
I feel really grateful that they bought the part to me, because they could easily get their mate in a garage to fit it. You know, the very fact that they've come into me is great. I will charge them a fair amount of labour. We will fit the part and get the customer riding. So yeah, I don't see that as a negative at all. I'm
really pleased you said that, actually. I'm quite surprised, because a lot of bike shops that I've been into would feel the opposite way.
Well, I think that's fair enough, and everyone's entitled to their own view, but I would see that as ever so slightly short-sighted. You just got to welcome everyone in, and if you've come in the door, then great.
Happy days, everyone's welcome, all good. Elliot Murray, what are your thoughts on consumer direct brands? Yeah, that must have a big impact as well, actually.
Do you know what? Yeah, it does, and I'm not going to lie. It's frustrating when you're on the verge of selling someone a particular model, and then you see them on the trail on a direct consumer brand.
Yeah.
But that bike needs its suspension servicing. It needs brake pads. It needs tyres. It needs looking after. Classic analogies. I bought my van from one place and I get it serviced in another. So if we're the service guys, that's cool.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah, it's not a problem.
Next up was from James465. Do you think wheel sizes are a trend? Will 26 make a comeback, or is it really dead this time?
Well, I don't think 26 is dead. I think if you're 5 foot or under, or a young rider...
Yeah, it's becoming the new kids' bike size, isn't it?
New shredder wheel size.
So yeah, recently on the tech show we had the Nuke-proof Cub Scout bikes, which got to give them a heads up for that name. The Cub Scout is such a good name for kids' bikes. They've got a 20, 24 and a 26. And there's the YT as well, isn't there? There's the junior size 24 and the 26 inch.
That's right. Yeah. And white have also got a range, and orange. So yeah, I think 26 isn't dead. It's just been moved to a different area.
Repurposed.
Yeah, repurposed.
Yeah, I think we were talking about this the other day. Look, you think how much tooling has been made for 26 inch. It's clearly never going to go away, because the amount of investment that's happened from the bike industry. There's supplies for decades.
Yeah, there's all those tyres out there, machines, capability to make all this 26 inch stuff. Yeah.
Next up from Subarik69. How do you go about starting a bicycle repair business, and when would be the best time to start?
That's a good one.
In fact, so use your business as a case study for this.
Okay, so bicycle repair shop. By that, I guess you're saying no sales, as in no new bikes. So that's cool. I think there is no good time. So we opened this shop in the middle of a recession, and there's no good time. But we just wanted to make it work, and fingers crossed we are. But go for it. Do your planning, do your preparation, work out your market. Is there good riding in your area? Do some planning first, and then the good time will present itself. That's what I'd say.
Interesting you say about the recession side of things. Do you find that something I discovered recently was sports side of things didn't suffer as much in recession, because people spend money on their hobbies because they can't afford to do perhaps holidays or improvements on the house, but you need to spend money on a certain amount of things?
Exactly. A lot of our customers are running around in average cars and really trick bikes. I think when you're dealing with passion, as you said, it will always come first. We'll cancel that holiday, but still going to have that new bike. I think there's a bit of that for sure.
Yeah. Next up from MTB Skidmark. The question I'd like to ask is, what is the worst job in servicing a bike, i.e. bikes that come in the workshop?
First of all, that is a great Instagram handle there.
Yeah.
Okay, so I guess sometimes a customer doesn't realise there could be some dog poo on the tyre.
Dog egg city, that's never...
But it's not the customer's fault, because I'd like to think they wouldn't bring the bike in if they knew it was on there.
Yeah, it's a bit of a grey area. Deliberately, are they?
Yeah, I mean, it's not nice for a mechanic to find something like that when they're trying to work on your bike, so just check your tyres before you bring it in.
Yeah, I'd say I've just been a bit respectful.
Yeah.
check your bike over for that sort of thing. Okay, next up's from Good Vibes and Sick Times. It's also a pretty
Another good one.
handle. How do you choose the bike brands to put in your shop? I've always wanted to know this actually, because I guess there must be some element of territory. For example, if you had Santa Cruz, maybe the shop down the road couldn't sell Santa Cruz and stuff like that.
Yeah, no, you've hit the nail on the head. It's not actually, you don't get to choose, it's almost what's available in your area. We were really, really lucky 7 years ago when we opened that Cube, Santa Cruz were available, and the brands have evolved. We don't really like to chop and change with our brands. We like to build up loyalty over years. And so, yeah, I guess the brands we believe in, the brands that, you know, are going to look after us so that then I can look after you, the customer. So there's a bit of customer service in there.
Is there any element of margins involved in there? Are you going to stock some stuff that you can make more money on, or is it more about what you're actually going to sell?
Of course, you know, ultimately we need to survive, and that means making money. But yeah, margin isn't actually that important. It needs to be at a certain place, but yeah, you can't go chasing that too much.
Question for me, out of interest.
Okay.
What made you set up a bike shop?
Good question. So I was working for another big bike shop that I've got a lot of respect for, running one of their stores, and Cube became available in the area. A phone call from those guys, a few more phone calls, the idea came about, and then next thing, Trailhead was born in 2012.
That's really cool.
Yeah.
I've kind of always half liked the idea of having a bike shop of my own.
Yeah?
One day, yeah.
Okay.
Maybe it'll happen. Never know.
What about Trailhead 2?
It's got a nice ring about it, isn't it? We'll see what happens down the line. Okay, and the last one, this is a pretty big question. I'll break this into a few different things here. It's from Thomas Bowser, and he wants to know, which says, the bike industry changes rapidly with brands introducing new tech constantly, like gearboxes and e-bikes. How do you make sure that your business can keep up and is ready to accommodate these systems? So that's part one. Mm-hmm. Is there staff training to be able to work on things like e-bikes in-house, or does the bike shop become more of a middleman to send units like motors, gearboxes and suspension away to specialist tuners?
Yeah, really, really good question, both parts of it. So first up, we have a bit of a, I wouldn't say a mission statement, but we have a bit of a ethos here is we want to sell stuff that we can fix. Now, with the e-bike motors, sadly, they won't let us crack them open. We're dying to get in there and change some bearings and stuff, but it voids warranty. So we do everything we can. We service reverbs here. We do suspension. We do not do rear suspension units. We don't do rear shocks. And this comes in a little bit with the question before. So we'll deal with a bike brand or an e-bike motor brand that we know will back us up. So if we send something off, we want a quick turnaround so that our customer isn't without their bike too long. It's really, really tricky on that. When it comes to staff training, we try and make sure we're up to date on that. But to be honest, my staff train me because they're so into it. They probably know all the tech before I do, and that's why I employ them.
It's good. Just looking around, what you can't see on the camera is an e-bike over there. I can see a wheel jig, a load of spokes and some hubs there ready to be built up. There's like all sorts of different mechanical jobs going on. There's even a parts washer over there. So you pretty much, looks like you do everything here.
It's really important to us to do like 90%, definitely. Otherwise, you know.
And I've also got to say something, again, that you won't be able to see behind the camera there, is how open this workshop is to the rest of the bike shop. It's kind of like, always trust a good kitchen that you see in a restaurant where you can see straight in, you see people working in there. I think that's a really good way to see if there's anything good going on.
Definitely, and sometimes the door does get closed when the hammer's out.
Tricky jobs, yeah, I'm sure. Nice. So, more importantly, how would I go about opening a shop then?
What do you reckon? We can sort this.
Yeah. What do you reckon? Trailhead Mark 2?
Yeah, I think we could come up with Doddy's Bike Emporium, maybe.
Doddy's Bike Emporium, that's got a nice ring about it, isn't it?
It's catchy.
Yeah. Let us know any other names you might think would be good if I had a bike shop in the comments underneath, and we'll go there if I don't get sacked for saying this. See you later.
Ciao.